Unfortunately, Lonnie did not live long enough to see his career truly take off.
You get big, bro. You got to get out your own city, bro. I understand that you can help, but bro, you can't be there. Like, nah, people know you from the past, bro. They're like, man, I remember when he used to do that, do this, and now that you made it out, come on, bro. Even though they don't want to put the work in their self, but bro, they're just gonna hate. So, bro, you got to leave your city, bro. Yo, what's good, you boy Crystal? Yes, sir. Back with another video. Yeah, family, today we have the hit of Lil Lonnie, Father Jackson, Mississippi legend. So, family, hit the subscribe button, hit like button for more content like this. Man, let's hop right into it.
Person, but you cannot kill the soul.
He was a good person. Like he spoke positive all the time.
That's great.
He didn't do anything to anyone, any harm to anyone to bring this on him.
Yo. Hey, that's crazy.
April 29th, 2018 was a quiet Sunday night in Jackson, Mississippi. A light breeze rolled through Montebello Drive. The streets mostly empty, the hum of distant traffic fading into the warm southern air. In the driver's seat of a black SUV sat 22-year-old Lonnie Taylor, known to the world as Lil Lonnie. In the passenger seat, a woman rode beside him. They had spent the evening out, dinner, a movie, nothing out of the ordinary. The drive through Jackson was quiet. A stop at a convenience store, a detour when a passing train blocked the road. Then the gunfire. Sharp, rapid burst, shattering glass, the metal frame of the SUV buckling under the impact of bullets. The passenger barely had time to process what was happening before Lonnie moved, pushing her down, shielding her under the glove compartment. As the vehicle swerved out of control, the SUV slammed into a house. Silence. According to the witness, she didn't move at first. Whoever pulled the trigger might still be out there, waiting to finish the job. She stayed low, heart pounding, barely breathing. Then she reached out to Lonnie, called his name, touched him, nothing. Panic took over. She pushed open the door and ran down the street, banging on doors, screaming for help. Somewhere in the chaos, she managed to call 911. By the time first responders arrived, it was too late. Lil Lonnie lay motionless in the driver's seat, his body riddled with bullets. The woman beside him, shaken but unharmed. No suspects, no immediate answers, just a bullet-ridden car, a lifeless body, and a city left reeling. The morning after, headlines carried his name. Social media flooded with shock, grief, disbelief. Messages poured in from fans, from fellow artists, from people who had never met him but felt connected through his music. Boosie Badass, who had worked closely with Lonnie, took to Instagram. Lil Lonnie was gone, but Boosie wasn't ready to let it end there. Boosie had seen too many young rappers fall to the streets, and Lil Lonnie's passing hit hard. He didn't hold back. He warned every artist to move carefully. Then his message shifted. It wasn't just about self-defense. It was about loyalty, about what comes next. Let's see what all his homies who was on stage with him every night gonna do after this. It's time to show him how much you love him. If his boys don't do S, they B words. On Lonnie, gonna hunt y'all in y'all dreams. Is you really gonna do it or just cry at his farewell service? For his family, the pain ran deeper than words. His sister, Sister Kapler, spoke through tears. Lonnie had spent years trying to uplift Mississippi, trying to prove that success didn't require leaving home. He wanted to put Jackson on the map, to create something bigger than himself. Now, he was gone. 1 week after the hit, Jackson gathered to say goodbye. On May 5th, 2018, the doors of a local church opened to a crowd that stretched beyond its walls. Family, friends, and fans came dressed in black, faces heavy with grief, voices hushed under the weight of what had been lost. One by one, speakers took to the podium. They spoke of his dreams, his kindness, his ambition. Days earlier, a candlelight vigil had been held in his honor. People had gathered, candles flickering in the dark, their glow reflected in tear-filled eyes. But the night meant for mourning turned to chaos. Gunshots rang out. People screamed, scattering into the night. No one was injured, but the message was clear. The streets had stolen Lil Lonnie, and it still lingered in the air.
The funeral service for 22-year-old Lonnie Taylor was held today.
At his farewell service, there were no gunshots, no chaos, only a room full of broken hearts and unanswered questions. Lil Lonnie was gone, and Jackson would never be the same. But who was Lil Lonnie? Lonnie Taylor was born and raised in Jackson, Mississippi. The streets that raised him were tough, but his home was filled with something something stronger: family, ambition, and a relentless drive to be something more. His older brother recognized that spark. He handed Lonnie the tools: a keyboard, a mic, the foundation for something bigger. He taught him how to build tracks once Lonnie proved he was serious. The lessons stuck. Through middle school and high school, music was an escape, a way to tell his story. The struggles, the dreams, the hunger for success, it all poured into his lyrics. He wanted to shine a light on Mississippi, to put his city on the map. As a teenager, he spent every free moment perfecting his craft. While some chased quick fame, Lonnie played the long game, studying the industry, honing his sound. People started to notice. His name began to spread beyond Jackson. He was young, but his voice carried weight. Mississippi had a new name rising in the scene.
Jackson guy, through and through.
Representing where, killer? From Jackson, Mississippi.
He started rapping in high school and continued at Mississippi State.
I didn't have much, but I had a vision.
The more people heard him, the more they could relate with what he was saying.
Lil Lonnie was on his way. Then came Colors. Released in 2015, the song took off immediately. Views climbed into the millions, pushing his name beyond Mississippi. The beat hit hard. His delivery carried confidence. The industry started paying attention.
There was a lot of envy. You know, a lot of people hating on him, a lot of people that was upset with him for whatever reason, or just didn't like him, period. They didn't even know him, they just didn't like him because he made it out.
Success gave him options. He could have packed up and moved to Atlanta or Los Angeles, but he stayed. Jackson had shaped him, and he wanted to prove his city had something to offer. He worked with Mississippi producers and kept his roots strong, determined to bring his hometown into the spotlight.
That's how life is, but he did make an impact to the artists, you feel me, from Mississippi. You know, Lonnie was doing his thing. You know, he most definitely was an inspiration, you feel me, to artists. At that time, Lonnie was doing his thing. I wasn't even, you know, rapping that seriously, you know, but I still, you know, was a fan of music. I was a fan, you know, but shout out to Lonnie, man. Of course. He made a big impact.
With Colors, Lil Lonnie had stepped into the industry, and he had no plans of slowing down.
At the time of his death, Lonnie Taylor, also known as Lil Lonnie, was making a name for herself as a respected rapper and artist, gaining the attention of artists like LL Cool J and 50 Cent. Keefy Man was his promoter.
As Lil Lonnie's name grew, so did his circle. Bigger artists started taking notice. By the end of 2017, Lil Lonnie was already making waves in the rap world. His mixtapes were gaining traction, and his name was circulating beyond Mississippi.
Boosie reached out to me, like, you know, Boosie. Jackson is like Boosie's second home. So when he came home from doing his bid or whatever, like I don't know who put him on the music or whatever, he did like a whole little video. We were talking like a week or two before he did the DJ Smiles interview, and I seen like, damn. You know, I'm just amazed that, you know, how much a fan he was, how he liked my music, you know what I'm saying? The baby face boy that make the good music, man.
But one moment gave him the kind of spotlight that couldn't be ignored. In December 2017, he sat down for an interview with Jack Thriller and 50 Cent. Sitting across from one of the biggest names in hip-hop, Lonnie spoke with confidence. He wasn't there to impress. He was there to tell his story. They heard the ambition in his voice. This wasn't an artist looking for a quick come-up. This was an artist building something real.
The Jackson, man, how much did Lonnie's out there affect the music scene?
Man, Lonnie death, it was crazy because everybody know one thing I never seen was a bit Lonnie. Shout out to Lonnie, RP Lonnie, man. Lonnie was an individual that was, I'd say, not like me, but he was intelligent, bro. You feel me? And he wasn't on no shit that he didn't deserve that. You feel me? But
unfortunately, Lonnie did not live long enough to see his career truly take off.
He wasn't out here just talking crazy or nothing, but yet he still got taken out.
For months, Lil Lonnie.
Man, at the end of the day, bro, that's why y'all got to get out y'all city, bro. Like, I understand, but like, y'all grew up with them phones, bro. When you get big, bro, you got to get out your own city, bro. I understand that. You can help, but bro, you can't be there. Like, nah, people know you from the past, bro. They're like, man, I remember when he used to do that, do this, and now that you made it out, come on, bro. even though they don't want to put the work in themselves, but bro, they're just gonna hate. So bro, you got to leave your city, bro. Your hometown, bro. You got to.
Lonnie's hit felt like another tragedy, destined to fade into silence. The shots that ended his life rang out in the night, but no names surfaced, no arrest, no answers. His family mourned, his fans grieved, and Jackson waited. Then, a year later, the case broke open. In April 2019, police announced the arrest of Anthony Carr, a 21-year-old accused was tracked down in Texas. He was charged with first-degree hit. Days later, another name surfaced. Manya Davis, also 21, was taken into custody in Fort Worth.
The suspect is 21-year-old Manya Davis. Davis was extradited from Texas last week and charged with Jackson police say a second suspect is now in custody and is waiting extradition to Jackson.
Even with 2 arrests, the case wasn't closed. Investigators kept pushing. A month later, a third suspect, Marshawn Carr, was arrested in Texas and extradited back to Mississippi. 3 men, 3 lives tied to the hit of a rising star. When the questions started, all 3 denied everything. But the detectives kept pushing. They already had arrest. The pressure built, and then Manya Davis started talking. He admitted he had been there. He had been the one driving, and Anthony and Marshawn had been with him. According to him, Anthony told him to stop, saying someone was following them. Davis claimed that when the car stopped, Anthony and Marshawn got out. Marshawn fired first, a few rounds, controlled. Then Anthony opened up with something bigger, a rifle that could do serious damage. Davis and Anthony went too far, unloading bullets into the SUV. Then it was over. For months, Manya Davis stayed quiet. When investigators asked why, he gave them the name of someone named Trill. Davis described Trill as dangerous. He claimed Trill had already hit his cousin, Mario, for blaming Anthony for Lil Lonnie's passing. Davis said speaking out wasn't an option. Anthony himself was another threat. Davis claimed Anthony had warned him to stay silent. He said Anthony was the one with the rifle, the one who had done the most damage. Davis denied having a gun. He denied stepping into the bricks that night. But distance didn't erase what had happened. When his recorded statement played in court, his choices, his silence, and his fear were all laid bare. He had tried to move on. The justice system wasn't going to let him. The evidence was strong enough to secure convictions. Manya Davis was found guilty of first-degree hit and sentenced to life in prison. Anthony Carr followed, receiving the same fate. Marshawn Carr's legal journey took a different path. He was sentenced, but reports indicate that he received an 18-year sentence. Justice had been served, at least in the eyes of the law. But for Lonnie's family, the outcome will never
be the same. RP Lil Lonnie, bruh. And bruh, like I say again, if you working for something, bruh, don't not be in your city, just staying there, bruh. You can pop into there, but don't let it be known. But nah, you gotta go. It's your boy CRISTOREACTS.
And I need me to do. If I ain't get paid, I ain't doing the show. Shit, I'm finna